Hey guys, welcome to /Rex Games. Today I'm going to be showing you a little something about ini files. The Yo-Yo Games wiki defines an ini file as short for initialization, which is what it is. These files are mainly used to store values that you load at the beginning of a program, such as keyboard configurations and settings. Okay, so here they got a bunch of functions. We're going to be using ini open, ini close, and read string. At the end of the tutorial, I will be going through each one of these and telling you exactly what they do. So I'm going to jump to what we hope to achieve. So we're going to be using ini files with our previous tutorial of character select. Right. So what we want is with our game, when it opens up the character select page, we want it to read from an ini file and tell us what is locked and what we can use. So before, these were all just unlocked and we could click on anything and go next. But now, as you can see, they're all locked. So you can't do anything. So we click on one, we say next, nothing happens. So what we want to do is, for instance, say we want to unlock while you know. So we click on while you know and we say unlock, and then it changes to an available sprite. Once it's available, then if we click next, it'll go to the game world. See? And if we go back, it's still unlocked because it's still saved. So whenever this page is displayed, it's going to open up that ini file with the settings and read it out. So even if we exit the game and go back in, you will see that while you know will still be unlocked and the rest will still be locked. Alright, so let's go to program. Okay, so this is just the base of the character select that I made in the kick-ass character select tutorial. To start, we're gonna create these sprites, the locked sprites. So we've got here the available sprites. So we're gonna create a group called it's called locked sprites or locked selects. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna create 6. 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, and we're gonna rename them the same. Let's click them from the bottom up. Okay, so then this one will be called sprite locked. Okay, center. This one will be called sprite troll locked. This one will be sprite Gusta locked, and sprite lol locked. Right, sprite alone locked, sprite red locked. Okay, now we're gonna add the actual locked images that I've already made. So this is red locked, look for red, there's red locked, open, center, okay. Alone locked, there's alone, there we go, lol, there's lol locked. Okay, Gusta, where are you? There you are. So these are the locked images. This is troll. Center. Okay, why no locked? Okay, so we've got all of those. Now we're gonna add okay, the button that unlocks them. So let's go insert sprite button unlock. So with this button we're going to be using it to save information. So when we click on a sprite, then it's going to set the variable my character, which is the global variable, to something, and then when we click unlock, it's going to read that in the ini file and unlock that specific setting. Okay, so button unlock, let's see, buttons unlock, that's good. Alright, now let's save this. Always remember to save your work frequently. Let's make object button unlock and make sure it's set to unlock. Okay, and the select controller, we're gonna have to have a controller to control the selectors, because in our room over here we want something so that when this room starts, it reads from the ini file, it opens it up, reads it, and sets these to whatever they are if the game is exited and restarted. So we're going to make a object selector controller. Okay, I just call it select controller. And that doesn't have to have a sprite. It's invisible to the naked eye. Okay, so we're here in the select controller. We're gonna have a create event. I'm gonna give it some code. It's gonna be quite a lot of code. So first, checking here at the Yo-Yo Games wiki, and we're going to be using any open name. Opens the any file with a given name. The any file must be stored in the same folder as the game. That's very important. Any file, same folder as the game. If it's not in the same folder, you will get an error because it won't exist. So, any open name, let's try that out. So let's go here, any open, and our name. What are we going to call it? We're going to call it, I don't know, character select. Right? So it's going to open that. Oh, don't forget to do .any. It's always good to give that. So it's going to open it up. Then next, we wanted to read from that any. So we'll go back to this wiki. See here. Any read string, and there's read real. Okay, so real is for numbers. String is for strings. So we're going to use string because we're going to have the words locked or unlocked. I mean, you could have read real and use zeros and ones if you want to, but I'm just going to use string. So any read string section key default. Okay, what is a section? Let's go to the top here. Section. That is a section. Okay, so in this instance here it says form. That's the section. The key is this here on the left, for instance top. And default is what happens if this number is not here. What should it return? So, for instance, in this case, you could have any reads. What's this? Okay, this would be read real. Any read real section would be form. So you'd put form there. Then key, you'd put top. And then default, you could put any number that would work as the default if 100 is not present. Okay, so let's try that. Let's go back to our thing here. So we can have any read string. What do we want to read from? So we got character. Right, so character is our section. Go back here, check it out. Section, yeah. Key is going to be the name. Say, let's see, what is our first one going to be? In this case, it's going to be a Uno. So let's say Uno is our first one. And our default is locked. So if there's nothing there, it's going to open up and say, hey, this is locked. And we're going to assign a variable a to that. Because you have to assign something. You can't just say any read, because read to where, you know. So a equals any read string, locked. Okay, then we can have b. Because we've got 6 of them, we can have c, d, e, and f. Okay, and we can just copy this one over here, like all this. The first one is next one is troll. And then we've got Gusta. Then we've got lol. Alone. And red. Okay, so now we've got that. Now we can close this any. Now how do we close it? We look here. Any close. Close the current open any file. It's very simple. Any close. So we say close. There we go. Okay, so it's opening it. It's assigning some variables here, A to F, and it's reading something into each one of them. It's going to either read what's there, or if it's not there, it's going to assign the word locked. So we've closed it. Now, what are we going to do with that? So we can use some if-else statements here. So if A equals locked, right? So if A is locked, put some brackets out with. So what do we want to change? We want to change object whoops, don't forget, close this. Here we go. So with object that's the select. So if we go back here, that's this. So if it's locked, we want it to change the sprite. We don't want this sprite because it's locked. It's going to have to change to the locked sprite. So if we go to sprites, select, it will change to locked, and it won't be that one. So, Right, let's go back to the select control create. So with object with that object which is on the room 1 character select, what do we want to do with it? We want to say sprite index equals sprite locked. Right? Very simple. If A is locked, which is the read for then we want to make sure that we are referring to object and we're going to change the sprite index to locked. Okay, then we can say else. Now we could just say else change sprite index to just sprite but if say that in the ini file there's another random word, then it's gonna think that that's the word unlocked. So we're going to say here else if A equals unlocked. So it'll only work if, let me put here with again, if in that ini file it has the word locked or unlocked, otherwise it won't do anything. So we have say sprite index equals sprite and then just normal that's not locked. Okay, so it's pretty simple. So that's for A. And we're going to do this all the way up to F. So we're just going to copy this. That's A, and we change this to B. Is, move to the side. Let's bring this down. Next one's troll. So change B to troll, and then troll locked. That's still B, and troll, and troll. Okay, so that's A. That's B, and we're going to do it again. And we're going to change that to C. And C is Gusta. Change all that to Gusta. Gusta. Okay, good. The next one is D, and D says lol. Change that to lol. Okay, lol and lol. Then we're going to do E. And E is alone. Okay. Right, alone, and lastly F. And F was red. Alright. So when the object select controller is created to initiate this piece of code, and this code says open the ini file, read a whole lot of values, assign them to A to F, then we're going to read A to F, blah 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 blah, and that's going to determine what sprites are shown on the character select, either the locked or the unlocked sprite. Alright, so next we are going to put object select controller into room 1. So let's go room 1, let's make sure it's in here somewhere. Object select controller, let's put it there. Right, now to create the ini file, first you have to create it. We go to here, this is our folder that it's going to be in. So if you right click, you just say new, you can go text document. Okay, now you can see that it just says new text document. It doesn't tell you what format it is, what type. So firstly, we're going to go to, for instance, organize file, folder, and search options. Go to view. This might be under tools, folder options if you're using XP. Find hide extensions for known file types. Untick that. We don't want that. Okay. So now to show .txt. So we're going to change this to .ini. So it's any. You check it'll change to configuration after we say yes. There, config. So now we've got it there. So we're going to rename this to character select. Okay, so in the game, object select controller is going to open character select.ini. So we want to make sure it's there to be opened. Otherwise, it's just going to return all the default values. Character select.ini, and in there we're going to write some stuff. So firstly, section, which was character. Put in those. Then the key, which for instance the first one is troll, gusto, lol, alone, red. Okay, so if we look over here, there we go. Then the value we're going to set up now equals. Okay, so when the game is started for the very first time, these are going to say they're going to be locked. Okay, so we've got our section, all our keys, and our values all locked. Save that. Go back to the game. Okay, and we can save this so far. Okay, now where's our unlock button? So when we start, it's going to show them all as locked. Let's have a look. Let's test this out. Okay, here we go. There we go. All locked. Alright, so it opened up, it read they were all locked. Now if we close this, and I change something in here, let's change red to unlocked, Gusto to unlocked, and we save that. Now if it reads it again, it's going to be different. It's going to read those two as unlocked and change the sprite to the normal available sprite. Alright, so there we see me Gusta, he's available. Good old red is also available. But here's the problem that we haven't done yet. If we check out, if we click on Forever Alone, we click Next. It puts him in there, even though he's unlocked. We don't want that. We want it to only go to the next room with that character if it is unlocked. So that's where the next part comes in. Okay, so we're going to go to the left pressed event of the object button unlock. We're going to put in some code here, and this is going to unlock the characters. So first, we're going to say mouse left pressed. Put in some code. Okay. Again, any open. What do we want to open? Character select dot any. Always make sure that it's not open before it tries to access it. Otherwise, I won't be able to save any data. Okay, it's going to open it. Then, with all these clicks, if we click on one of these, we've set it to change variable global.mychar to a number, and in the game world, we have object player, and object player turns into whatever sprite game world is. If we go to create, say it says there blah blah blah. So we're going to use that mychar. So once you click on say object, mychar is 1. So here in the button unlock, it's going to find out what mychar is, because we're going to use that, and then when we click unlock, it's going to unlock that specific sprite. That object is going to change the sprite. So here we have a switch. We can use a switch, and in the switch we're going to be using global.mychar. Oops. Alright. Give us some space. And we've got cases 1 to 6. So let's put them all out here. Case 1, break. And I'm going to copy this another 5 times. Oops. Okay. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, and lastly 6. Okay, so in case 1, it's going to any write. So now we're using any write. If we check out on the Yo-Yo Games wiki, let's see, any write string writes the string value for an indicated key to the indicated section. Quite straightforward. Any write, which section, what do we want to write, which key to, and the value we want to write. So in case we go, any write string, and one is Oh, so first we say to the section character. The key is and the value is unlocked. Okay, so if mychar1, so we've clicked on and then we have clicked on this button, the unlock button, it's going to write the string unlocked to the key under the character section. So it's going to overwrite the locked and rewrite it as unlocked. And then we're going to want to restart the room so that it restarts the room, and then the object select controller is created again, it reads it all and gives it the correct sprites. Alright, so we're pretty much going to copy that throughout here, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the first one is the next one is troll, then the following one is Gusta, then we've got lol, alone, and lastly red. Alright, so it's going to write that in to the any-write. It's going to any-write the string to the any file character selector INI. Then it's going to restart the room. Okay, now we also need to do some error checking on object button next. Let's check it out. At the moment, it just says if global.mychar is greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to 6, then it'll go to the room. So it'll only go to the room if something's selected. Now we want it to only go to the room if something's selected and that object is unlocked. So first we are going to create a variable. We're going to change all this. So let's move this down. Create a variable called error control. Right? And that's going to be checking if it's locked or unlocked. We can still use this. Alright. So if something is clicked, then it will only go into this. And again, we're going to be using a switch statement. Global.mychar. Right. Give it a lot of room. And again, a case 1. Break. Do that 6 times. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright. So, here we go. We can have any open. What are we going to open again? Character select dot any. Alright. What we're going to do? We're going to say error control. Oops. Oh, well, forget to close that. Equals any read string character. It's our section. Again, and default locked. Okay, so it's going to open up the character select any. So when we click on next to go to the following room where it creates our character, it's going to check that a character has been selected. Then it's going to initiate the switch statement depending on that character. And it is then going to do the switch statement. It's going to check out what mychar was equal to, and then it's going to open up the any file and do stuff with it. Okay, so after error control, reading that, we're checking if it's locked or unlocked. If it doesn't have a value, it's going to be locked as our default. And here we close the any again. Don't forget to close the any file after using it. Make sure you close it every time when you've finished. Right, now we're going to do some error checking here. We're going to say If error control, okay, sensitive, okay, equals unlocked. So if it indeed is unlocked, then we can tell it to go to the room. So we can just copy that and put it under here. Okay, so once it's read it, it's going to check if air control is unlocked, then we save to go to the next room. And that's the end of that. Now we just do that for the rest of them. Okay, so that's there, it's in between the break. Case 2, case 3, case 4, 5, and 6. So what we're going to do here is change these to... Oh, whoops, that was still It's this one. Is troll, then Gusta, lol, alone, and red. Okay, it's done all that. And we can shorten this. Make sure we've got those in the F, yes. End of switch. Very good. Now what we're going to do is save that. I'm going to change left button to left pressed. It's better. Let's just move that into left pressed. Okay. Then we're going to add to room 1 the unlock button. Let's find here, button unlock. Let's put it down here somewhere. Okay, so ultimately what we do is the game opens up, it checks out this, runs the create event of select controller, and that thing says, well, what's locked here and what's unlocked, and gives it the appropriate sprite. Then once we click on, say, forever alone, and then we click on unlock, it's going to write the word unlock to the alone key under the character section and restart the room. This is going to run the create event again and say, okay, that one gets whatever sprite, and then we can, only when it is unlocked, we can go to next. So we're going to save that, save the game again, and let's test it out. Alright, so according to our character select any, is locked, troll is locked, Gusta is unlocked. So let's have a look here. There, Gusta is unlocked. Alone is locked, red is unlocked. Red is unlocked. So let's check out. If we click on Forever Alone, now we click next, it shouldn't go. See there? Nothing happens when we click. If we click on locked, we click on next. Yeah, nothing happens. If we click on Gusta, which is unlocked, and we click next, it goes to the next room with Gusta. Go back. Okay. So now, for instance, we want to unlock something. Why we want to use this guy. We want to unlock him. So we click on him. We click unlock. Now watch. It restarts the room, and unlock disappears because he's now unlocked. Now if we click on next, there we go. We can use him. Let's try this again. Forever Alone. Click on him. Click next. Nothing happens. We can't go next. So what we're going to do is we're first going to click on him and click unlock. Unlocks him. It writes it to the any file saying he is now unlocked. He can be used. Click on alone. Click next. There we go. We've got him. That's pretty much it with any files. I'm going to now show you what all these other ones are, so let's read through them. Okay, so we used any read string, again section key default, but real is the same, just numbers, and everything else is the same. But remember, you have to assign it to a variable, so like A is any read real, and then it gives a number or a default. Okay, then we've got write string, write real is the same, only it's numbers, key exists. Okay, so this you can use in your Boolean logic. You can say if any key exists section, which would be character, key would say So if exists, then do something. That's to show that he is in the character select. Section exists, so the section, remember, is like, for example, in this thing it's form. In our any file, the section was character. So you can have any file with a hell of a lot of information. All your settings, so you can have character. Here you can have like controls, and you just say which section. It scrolls through them, finds the section, and then reads whatever's after that. Okay, let's keep that saved. Right, and what do we got here? Okay. Key exists, yeah, section exists. A key deletes. This is cool. You can delete a key. Say we no longer want to have as a character in our character select. So we could delete the sprite, and then we could also, okay, we delete the object, sorry. Delete the object, then we could pull this any key delete section, we'd have character key Then it'll remove from this. So it'll take that away. It'll be like, after it's run that, that'll disappear. And it'll be like that, and there'll only be 5. And section delete's the same, it'll just delete that whole section of characters. So if you want to move information, you just do that one and it'll delete it all. Yeah, here possible use of storing settings, options, general game information, storing players' details, forward custom settings. Now, if you're using this with, say, a multiplayer game, or even just your single player game where it stores maybe saves, or for instance, in this case, what characters are unlocked, and if the player has to get points to unlock characters, then you can always encode the data in this ini file in any way you please, so that if they do open up character because it'll be here, it'll say settings, whatever. If they open it up and they start fiddling around and trying to cheat, they could easily do it that way. But if this is just if this is a jumble of random letters and words and you don't know what the hell it says there, they're not going to know what to change. So yeah, encryption would be the next step. So that's all for the ini files. You can use them, like I said, saving settings. We used it in the character select capacity. It's a good way to save data. Yeah, well, thanks for watching, and there'll be another tutorial coming up. Thinking of doing the encoding. Maybe we can encode all that information we've just saved to the ini file. I can show you how to encrypt it. That'll be a good idea. Okay, well, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time.